Welcome, my friend. If you're someone that's dealing with being overweight, excessive weight gain, and you want to get your blood pressure, your type 2 diabetes under control, this video is for you. Today, we're going to be talking about hormones and how they affect weight gain and weight loss. As a bonus, we're going to be talking about fat loss shots and how they don't help. So, as you come into the room, get settled, get situated, let's dive right on in. So, over the last couple of days, we've been talking about the mistakes that people make when they are trying to lose weight, when they are working to get their blood pressure under control and working to get their diabetes under control. Oftentimes, hormones are overlooked in the conversation about this. So today we're going to dive a little bit into about hormones, and then I'm going to go off on a tangent and do a rant because I just had a conversation with somebody who did weight loss shots, and it wasn't there. So you say there's distortion. Anybody else hear distortion? If anybody else hear distortion, now stop and start over. Somebody else, let me know real quick. Anybody else feel the same way? Let me know. Move the microphone here then. Let's see if that changes it. Did that help? Appreciate y'all letting me know in and out. Yes. Is that better? Is that better? Let me know before we go on. I want to make sure that the audio is good. Yeah, see, when I put it on my shirt, then my beard be getting it all in the way. Boom. Appreciate y'all. Yes, better. Boom. Got it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the hormones that it's important for you to pay attention to in order for you to get your weight under control, get your hormones under control, and all of that. So the first one is insulin. Insulin is the gatekeeper to fat storage. Yes, insulin's job is to be a glucose shuttle. I always say that it's like the bouncer or the lock that unlocks the key that unlocks the lock. Wow. But we'll use this shuttle analogy. So you have glucose in your bloodstream and something needs it to get it into the cell. So insulin is the shuttle that gets the glucose into your cell. Well, if your cells are full, or if your cells are resistant to the insulin, your body is going to store that extra glucose as fat. Yeah, let's talk about it. We might be able to get that back together. I'll be back situated here shortly. Now, with insulin, when you have chronically elevated levels of insulin, this leads to what's called insulin resistance. And that means that the more insulin your body makes, the less the cells respond to it. And so this creates that cycle of fat storage, especially around your belly. So the answer to balancing your insulin is getting yourself back insulin sensitive or improving your insulin sensitivity. And you do that by doing three things: eating nutrient-rich foods, eating foods that are high in fiber, and then getting active. Again, walking is good. Strength training is better, because when you strength train, it draws all of the glycogen, which is the glucose that is stored in your muscles, out. So now the body is looking to use more glucose. So strength training is far above and beyond cardio for changing and fixing your insulin, which is one of the key hormones that must be controlled in order for you to start to see fat loss. The second hormone is cortisol. This is the stress hormone. Now, high cortisol comes from chronic stress, poor sleep, or excessive cardio. I talked about this on the first day. And it tells your body that, hey, cortisol tells your body, hey, prepare for survival. Some stuff is coming. So what does it do? It starts to store fat. And guess where it stores it? Around your belly. High cortisol also increases your cravings for salt, sugar, and fat, which leads to overeating in most people. And it leads to craving the unhealthy versions of those things. So oftentimes when you're stressed is when you're emotionally eat. So balancing one, fixing your stress, reducing it, and having healthy snacks so that when you get to that is one way that you're going to control cortisol. But more importantly, you have to, I don't even want to say reduce your stress. Reduction is not good enough. You have to eliminate stress at all costs. And the stress that you cannot eliminate, this is how we figure out how to transmute or shift and shape it. Okay. Breathwork is the first line of defense against stress and resetting your nervous system. Taking deep breaths will do that for you. Journaling, exercise, always, deep sleep, quality sleep, and then setting boundaries. And this is a big one that I talk to a lot of my clients about because I talk to and work with a lot of professionals. They don't have good boundaries set around a work-life balance. So they're always on. So you really have to set the boundary of when you're not going to be working if you're going to see that fat come off. The third one, and this is for my ladies, I need y'all to lean in a little closer for this one. Lean in a little closer for this one, please. Estrogen, which is the feminine hormone. Before menopause, estrogen helps the body regulate where fat is stored. For women, it's typically stored in their hips and in their thighs. That's where you want the fat to go when you're in your childbearing years. Well, when you hit menopause, perimenopause, estrogen drops off dramatically. And so now there's nothing to tell the fat where to go. So fat redistributes to your abdomen. And that's why a lot of women end up with what they call menobelly, where they, out of nowhere, they just start getting this belly fat. Well, it's the estrogen or the lack of estrogen that has created the redistribution of where your fat is going. So getting your estrogen levels balanced is going to be crucial for you. So how do I do that, coach? Great question. Natural phytoestrogens. A lot of people think that soy is bad because it has estrogenic properties. Well, that phytoestrogen is actually going to be beneficial for those women going through perimenopause and menopause because it's going to give them the estrogen to help redirect that fat. Now, you're going to also get estrogen from flax, soy, lentils. So this is one way that you can rebalance that particular hormone, the estrogen hormone. Now, here are the two hormones that matter almost the most when it comes to losing fat and getting your health under control. And that's two hormones that counteract each other. One is called leptin, one is called ghrelin. One is the hunger hormone, the other is the fullness hormone. So what do I mean by that? Leptin tells you, hey, I'm full, I don't have to eat no more. Ghrelin, on the other hand, says, hey, I'm hungry, I'm ready to eat. So when you have disrupted sleep from stress, when you do all of these high stress activities, or you don't manage the stress in your life right, your ghrelin goes up and your leptin goes down. So that means you are left with an equation where you're constantly hungry and it's hard to control the cravings. How do you win against that? This is why balancing your hormones is vital. How do you balance these two hormones? Prioritize deep sleep, 7 to 9 hours. Eat fiber-rich foods because it slows your digestion and it keeps the ghrelin low. And then it also avoids blood sugar spikes that can trigger those hunger issues. So the bottom line is there are 2, 3, 4, 5 hormones that are vitally important for you to get under control if you want to see fat loss, if you want to see your health improve. And you're not going to do that with fat loss shots, which leads me into the transition that I'm going to go into. It's not going to do that. In order for you to do those things, you have to make changes to your habits. These fat loss shots are not going to work. And now that transitions me into the rant that I have. I just got off of the phone with a lady who had inquired about my lead magnet on how to lose weight and improve her health. I follow up with everyone. And as I was going through the conversation with her, she says, well, I was doing good. I invested in the weight loss shots. I lost 12 pounds. Oh, really? How's that going for you? Well, I had to stop them because it was too expensive. And I gained the weight back, plus some. Wow. Out of curiosity, how much were those shots? $400 per month. Let that sink in. This young lady invested $400. Here, let me put this in here real quick. Comment the word challenge to join my 5-day metabolic reset challenge. Send pin. Okay, we're back. So she spent $800 to lose 12 pounds, only to gain it back, plus some. But what irks me the most about this situation, she tells me that they promised her that they would do weekly follow-ups. She promised that they would teach her more. Well, guess what they didn't do? They didn't do the weekly follow-ups, and they didn't teach her how to eat to maintain the weight loss. They didn't teach her how to move to maintain the weight loss. So it only makes sense that if you take these shots and you keep doing the same things that you were doing before, that you're going to gain the weight back. Now, her situation is a little bit different. She's going through menopause, so her hormones are off. Hence why I tied it in with the hormone conversation. If you do not learn how to eat differently than you did before menopause or perimenopause, you're not going to balance your hormones, and you're going to be subject to what your body's going to do because of the hormone imbalances. As you get older, you have to train differently. As you get older, you have to eat differently. You cannot do the same things you did in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. It just doesn't happen that way. You have to make these changes. It's imperative that you do the research to learn what foods are going to benefit your system. And if you're not willing to do the research, at least invest in a coach who's done the research and can give you a plug and play program. One of those coaches is standing in front of you. On May 26th, we're going to be having the Metabolic Reset Challenge, where we'll spend 5 days in live training going over what foods to eat, what movements to use, how to hydrate, and how to manage your stress so that you can balance your hormones. During that 5 days, you're going to get a meal plan. You're going to get coaching. You're going to get the actual tools you need to see the life change, not just see some momentary changes. So if you want to see life change for you, you want to see your blood pressure come down, you want to see your insulin sensitivity increase so your blood, so you don't have to take diabetes medication. If you want to get the stubborn belly fat off, comment the word challenge, and let's get you in the challenge on May 26th. Somebody's about to ask me, how much is it? It's $99 if you want to do general admission, $199 if you want to do VIP. VIP is going to give you an extra hour of coaching where you can get one-on-one questions answered by me, as well as 3 additional bonuses. There's going to be the juicing, the 7-day juice bonus, as well as a couple of others. You got to enroll to find out what they are. Just know that there are tools that are going to help you along your path. I refuse to continue to have these conversations. And that's why I'm on live right now. I'm supposed to be making phone calls, but I had to get on live and get this off my chest because y'all know how passionate I get and when things get under my skin. And my feelings were hurt for this lady because I told her about the challenge and she told me that she wasn't going to invest any more money in herself. She saw the challenge as another bill that had to be paid. But I think it was only because she had such a sour taste in her mouth for spending $800 and getting nothing for it. I'd be salty too. So I came on live right now to stop you from going to spend that foolishness. Because you can go get the weight loss shots if you want to, but then you got to deal with all the repercussions of the side effects, as well as what happens if you don't make the lifestyle changes to maintain the weight that you lost. What do you do then? Was that an investment or money wasted? That's like going to the most expensive restaurant you can think of, buying the most expensive meal on the menu, putting it in a to-go container, and leaving it on the roof of your car as you drive off. It's the same wastefulness. You wasted time, you wasted energy, and you wasted your money. All things that you cannot get back. So it's time to stop wasting your time. It's time to stop kicking the can down the road. It's time to stop looking for quick fixes. We have to. It is imperative that we make the health changes now. If you're in between the ages of 35 and 45, that is your 10-year window where you really got to take your health serious, because after that, it gets really hard to make the improvements. Or your health has declined to the point where now you're on medications, because it's crazy that I am seeing people in their 20s and 30s with high blood pressure and with diabetes. When I was growing up, these were old people diseases. But now it's happening younger and younger, which means that our health is getting worse and worse. And we keep relying on quick fixes, or worse, we make excuses and then say that, oh, it's nothing that we can do. It's how I was raised. It's the lifestyle. No, it's not. It's a choice. And you have to find something that's deep in you, a why that's so deep that makes you say, I cannot live this way. I don't know for you. For me, it was super easy. I lost my mom to cancer the day before her 63rd birthday. Almost 10 years later, I lose one of my best friends to a heart attack. 2 months before that, I lost my dad to heart failure. So I, as a 43-year-old man, am not living with any parents. So that means I'm raising my 10-year-old and my 9-year-old without grandparents. I don't want that to be the story for you and your family. So it is imperative that you find your reason to make your health changes. Looking good is all fine and dandy, but looking good is not going to make you stick with the hard decisions of making the healthy choice. And does it have to be perfect? No, you do not have to be perfect. Do not think that I'm saying that at all, because I'm not perfect. Heck, I ate Pop-Tarts the other day because it was convenient. However, I'm not eating Pop-Tarts every day. But it is, I'm kind of got off on a rant here. So we started off talking about the 5 hormones that you need to balance in order to get your weight under control. Those hormones are insulin, estrogen, cortisol, ghrelin, leptin. Okay. When these hormones are out of balance, you're going to crave foods, overeat, and store fat. But when you eat the right foods, when you move the right way, and you manage your stress, you're able to balance these hormones so that you can get your body back into a state where it's actually burning fat and using energy correctly. So if you're someone who is tired of being tired of being overweight, tired of a gimmick, tired of aching, tired of pains, tired of taking medications, comment the word challenge and join me May 26th for the Metabolic Reset Challenge, where we spend 5 days giving you the tools to make the changes. I'm going to give you the outline laid out, all simple and easy. That's my live for the day. I'm not going to keep rambling. If it's for you, comment the word challenge. Any questions while I'm on here? Because I'm going to go back to making my phone calls before I got class. Any questions about the challenge, about how to reset your hormones, about hormones play a role in how your body stores or burns fat? Any questions? Because y'all got me in my mode today. She really got me in my mode today. Like, I do not normally record videos without a script for like reels and things. But today I did. Just grabbed my phone, spoke from the heart. I normally script my videos, except these. Y'all can tell I just be ranting. So any questions? There's 9 people in here. Somebody's got to have a question. And if you don't, that's cool by me too. What's the role of water? Great question. Hydration is imperative. Being properly hydrated is the most important thing one of the most important things to do, because as your body is trying to balance these hormones, your hydration level is what's going to help cleanse out the overage. So when you're dehydrated, your body has to go in and decide which bodily functions it has to prioritize. When you're dehydrated, your cortisol levels shoot up because your brain is not getting everything that it needs. When you're dehydrated, it slows down your metabolism. Your metabolism is how your body converts food into energy and what tells it how to store fat. Being dehydrated increases fatigue and reduces performance. Being dehydrated tricks the body into thinking that you're hungry, creates water retention, and more importantly, it impairs the detoxification process. So I hope that answered your question on water's role. So one of the topics that we're going to cover in the challenge is proper hydration, because drinking water by itself is not enough. Water doesn't hydrate the body. It's the minerals in the body when you drink water that help you get hydrated. Nobody ever taught you that. So these are the type of things that you need to know, which is why coconut water is more hydrating than regular water, because coconut water comes with natural electrolytes, not added potassium sorbate and all these other things that you're going to get in your bottled water. And people, because I was just going over one of my old videos where I talk about drinking clean water. And if you're going to drink water, drink spring water or distilled water. And someone's like, oh, well, the sodium is just electrolytes that they add in. No, it ain't. If you look at it, it's salt, flat out salt. That's why you can drink Aquafina and still be thirsty after, if not more thirsty than before. So making sure that you're getting hydration correctly, and not just hydration, but you're eating your hydration. How do you eat hydration, coach? Melons, cucumbers, tomatoes, berries, high water content fruits and vegetables. That's how you do that. So I hope that answered your question, Angie. You're welcome. Any other questions around hormone, fat loss, or the challenge? Going once? Going twice? Going 3 times? So to the man in the back with the hat, I appreciate y'all for being here on this live. Again, if you want help losing weight, getting your blood pressure under control, getting your diabetes under control, comment the word challenge. I'll send you the link to join us on May 26th, and we'll help you get to where you need to go. Till the next time we meet, find your reason to live healthy. Peace.